This is an update for friends and supporters of Pastor Torben Sondergaard. Yesterday, something deeply concerning happened in Torben's immigration case that highlights the lack of professionalism and a blatant disregard for human rights within the U.S. immigration court system. For those of us with a Christian worldview, what we are about to share only confirms that Torben's fight for justice is in large part a spiritual battle. For several weeks, Torben's immigration attorneys have been waiting for the court to produce the written transcripts of his asylum hearing so they could start working on the appeal. Without getting too technical, the immigration court process goes like this. Torben presented his claim for asylum in front of an immigration judge. The judge denied Torben's claim. Now, Torben has a right to appeal, and that appeal will be heard and evaluated by appellate immigration judges. But before Torben's attorneys are able to draft the written argument or appellate brief, the immigration court has to provide the transcripts of all the proceedings. The court has an automated system that notifies the attorneys when the transcripts are ready and at the same time provides a schedule of when the written briefs are due. Now, Torben's attorneys had been waiting for that notification since early January, and the court was taking a lot longer than usual to produce the transcripts. But even then, the attorneys had no reason to suspect anything sinister because the same immigration court was regularly producing transcripts and notifying them on other cases. Yesterday, seemingly out of nowhere, the attorney's office received a document from the court called a summary affirmance of the immigration judge's decision. This is a document that was sent from the ICE attorney who argued that Torben should not be given asylum, and essentially it means the ICE attorney will not be filing a written brief as part of the appeal. But procedurally, that document could not be generated until the transcripts had been made available by the immigration court. Torben's attorney immediately contacted the court and was informed that the transcripts were put in the system over a month ago on January 9th, and that the court had established a due date for the brief for February 9th, leaving just 3 days to prepare the appeal brief. For the court not to notify Torben's attorneys on his case specifically, while they were being notified on other pending cases, is highly irregular and unacceptable. If Torben's attorney had not found out and the February 9th deadline had passed, Torben would have been put into a default removal process and deported back to Denmark on the next flight. Torben's attorneys immediately prepared a motion to request an extension. Simultaneously, they contacted the ICE attorney, explained the situation, and requested that she oppose a motion for extension, but shockingly, the ICE attorney refused. The ICE attorney's opposition to a request for extension undermines Torben's right to due process, which is comprised of proper notice and an opportunity to be heard. Torben's attorneys filed the request for extension anyways, and thankfully, this morning the request was granted, and they now have the proper time needed to work on his appeal. But this incident highlights just how much the system seems to be working against Torben. It makes us wonder why ICE is so eager to see him expelled from the country. What about Torben is perceived to be such a threat? We will leave you with this thought. Torben is an English-speaking European with a strong support network and very experienced attorneys. What do you think would have happened to someone else in his shoes? An undocumented worker or single mother stuck in the immigration process that doesn't speak the language and has little knowledge about how to navigate the process. Please keep those in prayer who are detained and at the mercy of our broken immigration court system. Please continue to pray for protection over Torben's defense team and for justice to be done and for the truth to prevail.